very close, though. It's so close. It's one letter off. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on. It was like written. It's like written.
It's like written for you. Except you can't relate to anything in the song.
No.
Like you and Jim have been together for forever and a day, and you have 2 kids.
And I have 2 kids. That's true.
Did you ever have the big wagon with the wood finish on the side?
Oh, the Woody Wagons.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I watched that show faithfully every Friday night. Tucked in my little bed was the Brady Bunch at 8, the Partridge Family at 8:30, Nanny and the Professor at 9.
Oh,
And
wow.
Love American Style after that. It was like the setup. It was the
Wow.
best Friday night.
You were, that was a Friday night?
It was a Friday night.
As a teenager, or
as
is
a
it?
child,
Oh.
not as a teen.
I just didn't know when those came out. In the 70s? Is it the 70s?
Yeah, that would be the 70s. Oh, yeah, definitely the 70s.
All right, well, I was
Early
born in
70s.
91. Yes, so I am joined by Tracy Grady, and if you are just finding our show bright and early because you're listening to WATD at 8 and didn't listen to us at 10, Tracy, why don't you introduce yourself to anybody who might not know you and reintroduce yourself to all of our listeners?
Yes, I am Tracy Grady, part of the Grady team. My husband Jim and I do this together. We sell real estate. We've been with Boston Connect for about 8 years now. We work together, love it, live in Hanover. We're very local. We're very accessible because we have 2 of us. We just love selling real estate, and I love coming into the show and talk real estate as well. 8 o'clock is early.
I know. I bribed you with coffee.
She bribed me with
You're
coffee.
like already halfway done with yours. I haven't even taken a sip.
Oh my God, I needed that to get me going. I didn't have my coffee this morning.
Yeah.
So Jim and I do a lot of real estate. We do a lot of new construction. We have new construction projects. We've done a lot of condos.
Yeah.
I call myself the condo queen of Pembroke.
The condo queen of Pembroke. Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, we've sold a lot of condos in the town of Pembroke.
Maybe
yeah.
we should do like a category for our awards next year of like condos, like the condo queen. And that would be Tracy Grady every year.
Yep.
You'll take it.
I'll take
I'll
it.
get you a trophy. I promise. So honestly, like you always say yes. And I knew you would say yes, but I was like, oh, I'll entice you with the coffee. It is pretty early, but I promise you the day is long after the show.
Yeah. When you're done
Jeez.
at 9 o'clock in the morning, like, whew, all right,
Yeah.
I can go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I could even go to Market Basket and not have an anxiety attack. 'Cause it's
Well,
probably
I
not
went
that
through the
busy.
drive-through at Dunkin' Donuts today instead of pre-ordering my coffee for Sharon and I, because at 10 o'clock I used to just use my app and just run in and get it. There was no line, so I was like, ooh.
It was very nice.
There we go. Yes, we are also live on Facebook. So if you follow Boston Connect Real Estate, McNamara Broker Team, Sharon Costa McNamara, everything. I'm sure Tracy will share it as well. But
And if you haven't watched in a while, the studio's been upgraded a little bit, and it looks pretty nice.
Oh.
It's always looked nice, but it looks a little better.
Oh, our studio?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Jim. Yeah, we try. We were gonna move our studio a couple of weeks ago, and then I was like, why are we moving it? Like, we literally built this room just for
This
for
is
here.
the perfect
We were gonna
room.
put it downstairs.
Where were you going to move it to?
Oh,
Downstairs to where we like originally had it when we first bought the building, and like really have like a low round table and like make it more casual. But I'm like, listen, no.
No.
No. If you got something that works, don't change it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If it's working, it works if you work it, right?
Yeah, don't change it just because you can.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love that, Tim.
Thank you.
Tim's in studio, so if you want to talk to Tim or you want to talk to us,
Yeah,
call
give me a
781
ringy-dingy.
Yeah, 781-837-4900. But again, we are live on Facebook, so if you want to join in on the discussion, leave us a comment. You can call Tim, you can call me.
If it's too early for you to move the mouth and make words happen, just send him a comment on the video feed. I understand.
Yes.
I will not be offended.
Yeah, some people are shy, but we're pretty much we're gonna keep
Not
it
us.
casual. Not us.
Not us.
We're-
No,
we-
nope.
This
Yeah.
can go off the rails at any time.
We're keeping it casual. I know. Tracy, you walked in to the office. And I'm like, if we were bad at 10, we're no.
Wait till we try 8 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it'll be,
no. I actually get a lot of great feedback when you're on the show with me because people just love the way that we are just like, this is just how it is.
Is this an agenda? Oh, is this what this is? This is an agenda. Yeah,
What are we
don't follow
doing?
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Tracy, some shows have things called outlines, but it's just kind of like in case.
We prefer to wing it when we're together,
yeah.
but people love it. So, but we are going to keep it super casual and light today. It's sort of dreary out, which I love. I was anticipating it being like chilly, and it wasn't. It's a little humid out, and I'm like, no, I was ready for fall.
Yeah,
like
I'm
I
ready
don't
for
want
my
it
sweaters,
to be
my
rainy
boots,
and
my
humid.
jeans.
I want it to be rainy and cold.
Yeah, it's rainy and humid,
especially
which
with
is
all this
horrible.
time I have in the day. But yeah, and you can see on Facebook, like I'm just not like I'm literally wearing leggings, a sweatshirt, and a hat. Like I'm not,
We are actually
we're
that
super
separate
casual
episodes.
today. We're casual realtors today, but we're really gonna be just talking about real estate. I know that sounds like so like
Predictable.
obviously you're going to be talking about real estate, but I just love I'm trying to do like my Tuesday show as like put it in a different direction. So I'm having a lot of agents come on from the office and just getting different perspectives and just any scenarios. A lot of the times our topics from our radio show come from our Tuesday roundtables, and you have to start coming back to those.
I know, not in the summertime though. It's not happening in the summertime.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. That's why we didn't have an office meeting in August.
Tuesdays at 9:30 in the morning, I'm by the pool outside.
Yeah, I
and
know.
I'm
Well,
like,
you are enjoying your pool.
I'm
You
enjoying
deserve
my
that.
pool,
Yeah.
and I do it not in the summertime. I'll be back in September after
right.
the pool is closed.
All
I will
right.
be back. But
Okay, well then I'm calling you out.
she totally calling me out right now.
Calling you out. But a lot of the times we've been having these really great discussions. Yes, it's a little bit slower in the summertime. People are off and doing their own thing, but we here at Boston Connect Real Estate are really still trying to be consistent and having these, even if we have 10 agents show up or 3 agents show up, 50 agents show up, which we only have 32. So if 50 agents show up, I don't know what I would do about that.
People are bringing friends.
We've had like a topic that we discuss, but then also we sort of go off with like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with right now.
Right.
Like, what do you suggest? Like, whatever. And it's such a great space for newer and older agents, and not by age. I don't mean it by age, but like who have been experienced. Yes. Come and just sort of collaborate together, and I love them, and I love sitting in on them and stuff. But yeah, so Tuesdays I'm sort of like gearing towards like getting other agents like experiences and opinions and strategies and everything.
Because no deal is ever the same.
No deal is ever the same.
And when you think it's going to be easy, it's just
And you know what? Twice last week, I had agents come to me with scenarios that I had never heard before, and I'm
you
sitting
think
there.
that's not possible.
And I'm just looking at them. I'm like, hold on a minute. I need a second to process this. And they're like, I know.
Like what?
And I'm sitting. I'm like, okay, I think I've come up with something. They're like, okay. And we sort of went with that. But yeah, it's ever changing. And I've been at Boston Connect for 7 years. I was at a brokerage before that. So really I've been in real estate for 9 years, we'll say. And there's still things in like my career that I'm like, huh? Like, and I'm primarily in a management position, so I'm like,
you kind of see everything.
I like to make rules. I like to follow rules. I like to make sure everyone else is following the rules. And, so it's interesting when I get interjected into these stories, because I'm like, I think of it as like logical, like in a sense of like, oh no, like you shouldn't, like you can't do that. Like I'm almost like a Charlie, like, no, this is the right way to do it. And they're like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even think that's the way I should do it.
Yeah, because a lot of agents get like stuck in their ways and sort of like, okay, this is worked for me in my business now, and I'm like, how about we think of it in this perspective? And they're
Let's
like,
kind of turn this on and turn it over a little bit here.
But you have joined me several times.
Yes, I have.
You're almost like my Saturday co-host. And Sharon wanted to be here at our new time slot. She was here last week on our new time slot, but unfortunately she wasn't able to make it today. So, of course, I asked if you could.
And I said yes. You even offered that I could Zoom in if I wanted to. And I thought, oh, no, we have to be together.
I know,
we
you said that.
Gotta be in.
So I just sort of wanted to because again at 8:00 we probably do have additional listeners.
Yeah, people that are on their way
just
to work.
People people on their way to work. Oh, go to work, a full day of work at 8 a.m. God bless you. Um, so we can sort of like recap some of the shows that we've been on, but I also want to get sort of where the Grady team is like right now. Like what's going on in your business? What are you seeing? It's the year is over, like over halfway over. And I just sort of want to get your perspective or the Grady team's perspective of like what's going on in this market, because I get that question all the time. What's going on in the market?
I know everybody asks. Yep.
It's a simple yet very complex question.
Bartender as my side gig. What do they call that now? It's not
side hustle.
Side hustle. My bartender is my side hustle.
Yeah.
That is like the number one question I get every night. I think, so what's the market going? What's going on? In the market?
You think of it? What do you think I could get for my house?
Exactly.
Like I don't even know where you live.
Yeah.
Like I don't know
where you live. Yeah, I don't know what your house looks like, and I'm not going to guesstimate on what I think your house is worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been such a different year. It's not that we're not having successes. We are. We've had more buyers this year. We tend to be a seller team as opposed to having buyers, and we've had some wonderful buyers this year that we have been pretty successful with getting offers in. But it has been, again, still a long road with buyers, making offers, not getting accepted, multiple offers, way over ask, way over ask. Yeah. There was a house in Hanover that my young couple made an offer on. It was on the market for $550. They offered well over ask. It closed last week, so I can say what it went for. It went for $630.
So can you tell what your client?
$575.
So your client went in at $575. It went for $630. Yeah. So
single level ranch. So you're in that competitive market with people that are right sizing, and new buyers.
Yeah.
And first time buyers, right sizers, and right sizers are probably coming in with a cash offer. To be honest with you, the cash offers.
I keep getting beat.
You keep getting.
Did I tell you that I didn't get that house?
Yes,
I did. Yeah.
But when it was a cash,
I've been complaining about it ever since.
I have not stopped talking.
I have not stopped complaining about it.
I didn't get it. Cash offers for people that are downsizers, right sizers, have a big chunk of money because they've sold their bigger home.
Yeah.
And they've been looking for that one level that they don't want. And I don't blame them at this point. I don't want to. When I get to that point, I don't want to move again.
Yeah.
Like after I downsize, right size, I don't want to move again either. So I want my primary bedroom to be on the first floor. And that's what's happening. And they're making cash offers well over ask.
Yeah.
And who's not going to take a cash offer well over ask?
Yeah.
You actually could probably offer, pretty close to ask and be cash instead.
So my first offer so I've been looking now for a year. My first offer, I was beat by cash.
Everybody does not know that. Melissa is looking for
If everybody hasn't heard me complaining.
She is looking for a home and has made offers and has been looking.
The first house I put an offer in, it was in Abington, and I lost that to a cash buyer, and they were $20,000 less than me.
See?
And I was like, I was still a super quick close. Like, I can close really quickly.
30-day close.
No, a 2-week close.
Oh.
Yeah. And they went with the cash, and they got $20,000 less.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand. And so I was like, all right, it wasn't meant to be. But this last one has burned me pretty hard. It hasn't closed yet, but it's burned me.
It's
burned me. And I mean, I went sick. I won't say the numbers just in case the universe is on my side, but I went significantly over.
Yeah.
Significantly more than I thought that I would, but that's like I just loved it. And they got a cash offer.
Cash offer comes swooping in,
and I'm just like, I'm
doing a slow burn.
I am not okay physically.
We so thought you were getting that.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like everything had lined up perfectly.
Yeah. So I definitely feel burned. But you just have to keep.
Buyer market is tough right now.
Yeah. So you know what? It came from a result from that. I looked at a house. When was it? Thursday night. In a town that I don't want to live in, a house that I don't want to buy, and I'm standing there and I'm like, all right. I was like, yeah.
I mean, it could make an offer.
I saw it. Kristen Howlett came with me because she has 2 clients who are interested in it, but they're sort of on the fence as well. And I'm standing there and I'm like, am I really going to have to buy this house? I was like, no, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, there are the reasons why I don't want to live this far from work. There are reasons why I don't want to live this far from anybody that I know. Like, there are
not the right
reasons
house.
why, yeah. And I'm just like, this is literally the only option I have right now.
Yeah, but it's not the right one.
No.
It's not
yeah.
the right
So I'm like, okay,
It's
no.
an option. It's just not the
It's
right
an option. It's just not an option for me.
You don't stand there in the
But I'm
kitchen
thinking, but I literally
really
was
hate this
thinking
house.
afterwards.
It's horrible.
I was thinking afterwards, like, how many people are in my position or have been in my position where they just settled?
Yeah.
Like, they just were like, I just want to buy something. Because then I was thinking, all right, well, if I buy it, how much do I think I could get if I rented it in a year or if I rented it in 2 years? And I'm like, wrapping my brain around it. I'm like,
That shouldn't
because
be
I'm
your-
not looking for my forever home. I'm looking for my first home. So, I'm looking for something that I could potentially rent to somebody afterwards.
make some improvements.
Yeah. I definitely want something that I can improve. And I was standing there the other night and I'm like, oh, I don't want to live here.
But I don't want to live here.
I don't want to live in this house.
It's not horrible.
No, it's not. It's sort of a flip. Yeah, I mean,
livable?
yeah, it's a flip, but it's not. It's just very, very small, very tiny, no closets whatsoever, not a single closet.
Oh my word.
And I know that's not a big deal, but when you are in 600 square feet,
shoes.
yeah, when you're in 600 square feet and you don't want your toilet paper to be your coffee table,
Yeah, no. No.
So there were definitely some struggles. But I was like, I don't want to live
Don't
here.
want to live here. It's too far away from work.
Too far, yeah.
I mean, because if you go back now and you think about some of the other houses you looked at in towns that you don't want to live in, you're like, that was a better house.
Yeah.
Even though it was far further away than you want to be.
Yeah.
But you didn't buy the nicer house that's further away. Don't buy that.
That's
that
true.
you don't even like.
That's true. So apparently on Saturday, July 22nd, I'm assuming of last year, maybe, or maybe this year, navigating the emotional journey of selling your home. Apparently we did a show like that.
We did?
Yeah. You and I don't know. According to Julia, we did we did a show on Saturday, July 22nd. I don't know of what year, but navigating the emotional journey of selling your home.
There you go.
Do you have any? Okay, so wait.
All right, so
before we jump ahead. Okay, so what's going on with the Grady team right now?
Okay, so we have 3 listings on the market actually, and 2 of them are new construction. One is in Marshfield, 719 Ferry Street, which is a beautiful colonial farmhouse style 2-car garage, whole house generator, spectacular landscaping, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, all hardwood floors through. I mean, it's a beautiful home. It's on the market for 1.2. It can be finished before the holidays, so you can move in and be ready to go for the holidays. And that actually we have another one in Hanson, very similar. I call it the mini version of the Marshfield home. It's a little smaller in Hanson, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Again, farmhouse style, beautiful, 2-car garage. And that one we did have under agreement, and then the buyers backed out.
Oh,
Yeah, that was kind of devastating. So, we've never really had new construction on the market for this long. Like this has been a tough. Tough
why
sell.
do you think that?
We've been plugging. I mean, I've been plugging it and putting it on Facebook and social media, and I can't even come up with an answer as to everybody that's looked at it has loved it. I will say they're unique lots. The lots make the difference right now. There is no land to be found.
Yeah.
Land is tough to come by right now. And our builder, who's K&G Development, Bob Goslin, my favorite,
Yeah.
got an opportunity to purchase this land. And they are slightly challenging lots, I would say, which is why he's doing all the landscaping first so that people can actually see what it's going to look like. Normally, he would finish the inside of the house before he did the outside of the house. But in this case, one of them is set up on slightly up on a hill. So
Is that the one in Marshfield?
Yeah, that's the one in Marshfield. And I just think you have to see the landscaping done before you can even talk about what the inside is going to look like, because sometimes it's really hard for people to see the vision of what's going to look
it's
like.
not like, not to be like insulting or anything, but it is hard with new construction. It's hard for people to come in and envision what the final product is. That's why having a model home, like in a development, is so important, because you can be like, no, like, we promise we can finish a house. Like,
We
this
can
is
get
what
the
it
house
looks like.
done. It's
This is
just-
what it looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging. Well, and on the new construction projects we've done in Pembroke with the condos, we always had a model home set up. And then when we sold the model home, you'd see us walking across the parking lot with furniture over our backs and resetting up one other unit. After we sold it, I'm like,
I
all
know.
right, guess we're
I think at one point Sharon had like sold some, like, maybe it was Jefferson. I think she sold like the furniture at the Jefferson model at one point. Someone was like, "Can I buy this?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'll put a number on
We
it."
did it. We sold the last condo we had in at 590 Washington Street. We sold it completely furnished with all the furniture we had bought.
Wow.
Yeah, it made it easier for the buyer. It was a great opportunity for the buyer.
Nice.
So because she didn't have, getting into the condo was her goal, and there wasn't a lot of extra money on the other side.
Yeah.
So it worked out great for her.
Nice.
So she's still there.
Nice. I love that. I love that. So you have those three.
So we have those. Oh, and then we have a house in Hanson on the market. So it kind of comes back to seller that's moving down to Georgia. So they are.
You have a lot of clients who move out of state.
Yes. Yep. The last one was going to Nashville.
Yeah.
Yep. Was going down to Tennessee, and then these people are moving down to Georgia, and it's a beautiful colonial in Hanson, set way back off the road. Beautiful pool area. It's pool, cabana out back, huge yard. It's on 6 acres plus land.
Wow.
Not developable, so it's not like you could subdivide it and make it into lots.
Well, if you want privacy,
but
there
if
you
you
go.
want privacy, you've got it. That's for sure. So,
Wow.
beautiful home.
Yeah.
But again, we're not getting a lot of activity on that home either right now.
Interesting.
So it's summer, and I know it's people are
Timing is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I always say when someone's like, "Oh, when's the right time to sell?" I'm like, "When you're ready."
when you're ready. Yeah.
Like, I mean, a buyer will come. They're out there.
Yep.
It's just when you're ready.
Buyers come on the market every day. So,
Yeah.
we always say that to our sellers. They get frustrated and they're like, oh, nobody's looking. We don't have any. I'm like, yeah, but you have to remember, buyers come on the market every day.
Yeah.
So somebody new is going to come on today that's going to see your home for the first time today,
Yeah.
and tomorrow, and the day after.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to kind of be patient. But, now we're getting to that point
Yeah.
where we probably need to drop the price.
Yeah.
But, we're talking.
Well, I definitely want to talk about price. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to talk
It's
about
10:30
price.
already?
No, we are going to take a quick break. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am joined by the one and only Tracy Grady, and we are going to talk about pricing when we come back. If we do.
Or if we leave.
Hello?
Tim?
All right, we might not be taking
Are
a
we
break.
really on the radio?
I don't know. Are we on the radio? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll just continue that. Well, we were. Yeah, so pricing.
So pricing. So we're going to go into pricing now. So now we have to look at, and this is what kind of makes it, and it's not this particular seller either. When to make, how to price it right. I'm telling stories about buyers and that are offering 60 grand over ask and 100 grand over ask and getting houses. So everybody thinks they're going to get a bidding war on their house.
Yeah.
And that's not how you price a house, is to get a bidding war. It's not the right way to go in. You want to price it accurately.
Yeah.
You don't want to price it too low and hope you get a bidding war, because sometimes that doesn't happen.
So at the end of the day, pricing is very important.
It
so
is important.
how do
So
you guys come up with your pricing and you the final number of what to go on the market for?
Well, you listen to your seller. You have to listen to your seller. Everybody wants $1 million for their house, and you're like, yeah, we're not going to get $1 million, so let's kind of come down off that $1 million mark, even though, it's a big house. And if you go by square foot and you go by what's sold on the market, you kind of can justify that. So I think Jim and I tend to go on the high side, and I think it's usually pretty accurate. We don't lowball in hopes of getting a bidding war. Actually, Jim and I rarely get bidding wars. We're like everybody's like, I put a house on the market and I had 10 offers. I put a house on the market, I had 20 offers. I'm like, we put a house on the market, I didn't have anybody come to my open house. So
Yeah.
I'm like, we tend to go on the high side because you want your seller to be comfortable getting what they think their house is worth. So we usually tend to talk them down a little bit, like, all right, let's start here, and if it doesn't work, then we're going to have to change the price in a couple of weeks, and we're going to have to come down to a more reasonable price. And I use the tool in MLS all the time that says, if we
How many
change the
people-
price,
yeah.
this is how many more people are going to see it. If lowering it 20 grand, you're only going to pick up 9 people, it's not worth it. You really need to come down more than that. So, so now we're in that situation where we're looking to come down, and, if we come down 50 grand, we're talking 100 more people are going to look at the house by what's out there today.
Yeah.
By what what people are looking for. So
Yeah, it fits their criteria.
Yeah.
So when you're a buyer's agent and you are setting up a client in MLS or whatever you use for your search, what increments are you doing? Because in my head, I set up my own increments, like for my own search, and I've sort of lowered mine because I don't want to look at the top of my budget.
Right.
So
Because
what are your
going on?
sort of
I
strategies?
tend to go, I do. I kind of do the same, a little under what their budget's going to be. I want them to see what's out there. So if I have somebody that's qualifying at, I don't know, say $500,000, I still go 525. I still go to 525.
Yeah, that's what I was
because-
doing in the beginning, and then I was like so frustrated that like I dropped it. Like
So now so you would be at 475 if you were
Yeah.
at $500.
Yeah.
You'd drop it to 475.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing, because if it's a really nice house, they are still going over ask. I can't, it's just the craziest. It's the craziest market. I don't know. You put a house on the market like the one that we have right now that's been on for a couple of weeks now, and we've had people look at it, but we haven't really had anybody serious enough to make an offer on it.
Yeah.
And I always suggest that people that are, if you're interested in the house and you don't like the price, make an offer.
Yeah.
There's no cost in making an offer.
Well, that's what Kristen told me on Thursday about this house that I don't want to live in. She was like, just throw an offer. And I'm like, I would definitely not even be at asking. Like,
No.
I wouldn't even be at asking. It's been sitting too. So I was like, and I wouldn't be at asking. She's like, okay, throw in an offer. The worst that can happen is they can say no. And I was like, no, I think the worst that could happen is that they'd say yes, and then I'd have to move here.
And then I'm going to be
like,
living in a
no.
house that I hate.
I'm like, I'm not even going to go down that route. No. So, but yeah, no.
Make an offer. I mean, and then it's so helpful for the seller and us as their agent to say, look, this is an offer. It's a valid offer, but this is the price point. Now it's easier to go back to the seller and say, feedback from the open house and this one offer that we've got, this is probably where we need to be.
Yeah.
And then you can counter and go back and forth, try to get your buyer up, try to get your seller down. That's part of the whole negotiation of, doing this. But yeah, it's just really hard.
It's a wild beast out there.
It's just a wild market. One day your hat's on and you're like, okay, I think we should go in 25 over, and then you're over with your seller and you're like, I think we need to come down.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
These people are offering 25 over ask, and I'm asking you to come down 50.
Yeah.
It's a horrible conversation to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not an easy conversation. It's a difficult one, and I feel like a lot, no matter what angle you're coming from, whether it's price or condition or anything, like it's going to be a tough conversation to have someone, especially if they have pride of ownership.
Yes.
Like, it's tough, but at the end of the day, you're hiring us for a service or hiring the Grady team for a service. And, you guys are there to say, hey, listen, this is what the market is telling us that your house is worth. Like,
It's not me. I'm not saying
in
I'm
your eyes, I'm
using-
sure it's worth $1 bajillion.
Yeah, it's your home. It's your home where you raised your kids. You've been here and
You raised your
love it.
cats.
You raised your cats. Right, cat lady.
You raised your cats. It's tough. I feel like this industry is definitely it's filled with tough conversations but like we try to do on here, it can be fun too. It can be fun. It can be really fun.
No, I really enjoy going on, like our young buyers that we have, and they finally did get an offer accepted. I'm sad because we have so much fun. We go out every Saturdays
these
and
are
Sundays.
musicians.
Yeah,
I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them, and but I'm gonna miss them because we'd go out on a Saturday and look at 2 or 3 houses together, and we'd have a lot of fun, a lot of laugh, and so
Nice.
yep.
Well,
Super fun.
that's awesome.
Sorry. You would have been their neighbor.
Oh, well, guess what? Saturday, July 8th of some year, we did strategies when pricing your home to sell.
There you
Well,
go.
there we go. We transitioned without even knowing.
These are all the things we've talked about. The importance of pulling permits.
Yeah,
Another,
we remember that one.
Yep.
Pricing your home to sell. We did that. So we did strategies when pricing your home to sell and just pricing your home to sell.
Wow.
We don't need any strategies with that one.
No strategies. We just
Things to consider when buying or selling a condo. You are the condo queen.
Condo queen.
Okay, what's your number one tip when buying a condo?
Number one tip on buying a condo is making sure you review all the paperwork for the condo associations.
Paperwork
like rules and regulations, unit deeds, master deeds, making sure that there's no liens against the property. Budget, make sure that there is a healthy amount of money in the condo association. Meeting minutes. Yep, those are big.
Why? So
Yep.
I always like to look at the meeting minutes because I'm like, I think the worst of people. I think that there's going to be a message in there being like, Tom from unit something was out in the parking lot harassing people.
Parking people, yeah.
You know.
Parking your car in the wrong places.
And that's honestly the reason why. So a couple of years ago, I was showing my cousin condos, and one of the condos we went to, they were doing an open house actually, and the agent had like directionals like, oh, going through the back door, and I'm like, what's up with the front door? So
exactly what I would think,
walked
like-
right up to the front door, and there was a notice that because somebody had been breaking into cars.
Oh,
So the notice was like, oh, if your car has been broken into, please come to the
please come to the front office.
and I was like, you're not living here.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is out. Yeah. So
I literally go, how do you feel about this?
What do you think about this? We're not even going in.
Yeah,
Refuse to get
we're like,
passed on that.
no. But my thought of me, I was like, I'm going to the front door. What's wrong with the front door?
Yeah.
I went there. There was the notice. So, again, use your surroundings, look around and whatever. But that would have been in the meeting minutes too.
Yeah, it would have been in the meeting minutes. So yeah, it's and older condos are going to have. That's when you really want to make sure that you've got a budget in place because roofs are going to need to be replaced. Decks are going to have to be replaced. Exterior maintenance, really important. And condo fees, because there are some out there that are astronomically high. And that is got to be taken into consideration in your mortgage. So when you're qualifying, you have to be able to qualify for a, $500 a month condo fee to go along with your regular mortgage just to pay for it.
Well, I said this on the show, I don't know, maybe a month ago now, when I was going to put in an offer on a condo. And I've been sort of avoiding condos. I really don't want to live in a condo. I would love to live in a single family home, but I was considering the condo again because there's nothing on the market. There's nothing for me to buy. But I was considering it, but the condo fees were super high because that particular unit had an assessment. So the reason why it had an assessment is because the condo complex had been, I don't know, maybe 40 years old at that point, and they were redoing the side. They had redone the siding, the windows, the doors, the decks. And every single unit, it was $50,000 for each unit. So each unit was given the opportunity. You can either pay the $50,000 or you can sort of like finance it. Installments and have a special assessment. So like not every unit had a special assessment if they chose to just pay the $50,000. This particular unit, they didn't just have $50,000 for someone to be coming around and collecting. So they chose to do the special assessment. So that unit had a higher condo fee than a lot of the other ones because, and that just sort of pushed me over the edge of like not be like affordability wise. It just didn't make sense for me to spend that much money on a mortgage and that much money on
an assessment. That's the hidden costs in condos.
Yeah.
And they're not hidden, not like it's a hidden cost. It's just you really need to think about, where you're moving into and how old it is and any repairs and that's the problem.
I think maybe if it was more like a townhouse style, I would have considered it, but this one was more like apartment style. So like there was someone underneath me and I was like, oh, I am not. I mean, the unit itself was great. I loved it. It was super clean. They had maintained it very well. And again, the exterior, everything with the exterior was new.
Yeah.
but I was still going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And it just
And a lot of times the seller will pick up the assessment on the way out the door. Like that's usually part of the offer. Is
Yeah.
the seller
I
at
think
closing.
maybe the situation that the seller was in financially, they would not be able to pay the $50,000, which I don't blame them.
I don't blame them either. But sometimes on the way out the door, the seller will pay the assessment.
Yeah. Well, it didn't, at one point, you sell a condo and your seller offered to pay a year's worth of
Yes, condo fees.
fees.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
That is super appealing.
I thought that was a really good,
yeah.
because it was a really house, like $660 was
Yeah.
the condo fee.
Yeah.
So, and there was another unit that was on the market before our seller came on the market, and the big problem was the condo fee and,
Yeah.
the mortgaging. So,
But why was the condo fee so high?
they had just done almost the exact same thing outside. They had replaced all the decks. They had done the roofing. They did granite steps out in front of the unit, and it was really well done.
Yeah.
Granite steps, which was great. And then the seller also replaced the doors and windows, which she paid for. She paid that. She paid that all together up front. But you could also do that in installments if you wanted to. So the upgrade was for the decks.
Yeah.
All the decks were replaced. All the staircases were replaced
Yeah.
with the granite.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so high.
Yeah.
And so we came up with the idea that's like, well, let's try to offer, 6
I
months.
think that was a
upfront.
great
I
idea.
thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
We ended up doing 6 months.
Nice.
We talked about a year, but I'm like, well, let's start with 6 months and see what we get.
Yeah,
And it was
that's
good.
awesome.
It was, we sold it pretty quickly. So it went.
Yeah, I loved that. Yeah, that's a great idea. And again, I try to bring like the buyer's perspective onto the show because I am out there in the trenches. Like that would be super appealing to me.
Crawling through the
Yeah.
trenches.
That would be super appealing to me, especially somebody who has not really considered condos
Yep.
because of condo fees. And again, sometimes I feel like I sound like a brat when I'm like, I don't want to pay a condo fee. And it's like, well, you'd have to pay for that anyways. It's like, I don't feel like I'd pay $15,000 for snow removal for my little house. Like,
Exactly. And
it's
we talk about that too on the other side, and it's like you got to walk a fine line there because some people want that ability to not have to worry about snow plowing. I don't want to have to worry about my landscaping. I don't.
Yeah.
I want a company that's
yeah.
gonna come in
I
and
know
don't have to
somebody
think
who
about it.
I know somebody who will take $50 a week to come and mow my lawn. Okay, that there's my condo fee.
And it's not. That's the other part of it is
Yeah.
that it's not. And we've not had bad winters either.
Yeah.
So I mean, there hasn't been a lot of snow removal,
Yeah.
and you're still paying that nut
Yeah.
every month when you could basically.
It's so funny that you just said that because another condo that I was looking at, I know I'm not looking at condos and yet I've been
Although I
talking
do-
about condos. Somebody said that there was going to be a snow assessment. And I was like, from what year?
2015.
Oh yeah, we have a snow
we had
assessment. We
snow.
didn't have enough snow, like money put aside for like snow removal. And I'm like, well, when was the last time it snowed? Like,
Yeah, like
2015?
2015 was the last snowy
What?
winter we had.
What? Like, what do you mean? There's
Yeah,
a snow. I was like, say anything other than snow assessment because it hasn't
Landscaping.
snowed.
Peonies. We're gonna add peonies out front. and
I'm
they're
not
very
even sure.
expensive this year.
I'm not even sure we shoveled here at all this winter. Did
So-
we?
No, not a lot. No. Jim has a snow
Now that
blower he
now
loves.
that Mark bought a new truck maybe 2 years ago for the snowplow, it has not. He has not had to use it.
Hands up. It has not. And that's going back to the condo fee. When you add it up, it doesn't sometimes make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Except for the convenience part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to worry about it, then that's fine. It's, your condo fee it takes that worry
Yeah.
off. You're going to Florida. You don't want to have to worry about your unit or anything up here. I get that. But if you kind of add up what a landscaper, what you pay for a landscaper to mow your lawn and what you pay for a snowplow, it's probably not going to.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna come up today.
Yeah. And you know what? I am a first time home buyer and I do want that responsibility. I know it's like wild, but it's like I want it to be a part of my experience. Like I want
a garden. I want to.
Yeah. And I told Holly, Sam's mother, that she could have a little garden at my house. So I have to buy a house that has a little room for a garden.
There you go. Yep.
For Holly.
Raised bed. Yep.
Um,
Little raised bed garden.
Yeah, I know. I want to be able to like make my own I don't know, salads or what do you make from a garden?
Salsa?
Salsa. Oh yeah. We'll have a salsa party.
We'll have a salsa moment.
Anything? Okay, so anything else with condos? Top 10. Okay, so we did the top tip for a buyer, top tip for a seller?
Just the top tip for a buyer, top tip for a seller. Yeah, it's kind of the same. You're really gonna want to make sure that you're.
I would say get all your ducks in order.
Yeah.
Like condos, like they'll ask for a questionnaire. That like you got to have all these you have to have contact information for people on the board. You got to have all these things that you have to have lined up because
all your rules and regulations. You should have all your paperwork.
Yeah, have
like
all
you
the
said,
paperwork.
minutes, budget, everything on that line. And I think the best part for a seller, you really do have to declutter your unit. Like the way you live is the way you live, but if you're trying to sell your unit, and depending on the size of it, you want it to be pristine. I mean, you want to walk in and feel like, oh yeah, I can see myself living here.
I could see myself.
Just can't
Instead
have
of
too
being
much
like
stuff.
me on Thursday, I don't want to live here.
It's horrible. Should I make an offer?
Should I make an offer? I don't want to live here. No.
No, don't.
Silly.
Make an offer. No.
Yeah. Okay, so that's condos.
That's condos.
Next one, we did a show on why now is the right time to sell. I always say the right time to sell is when you're ready.
When you're ready.
I mean,
there's not a
it's
best
just-
time. Spring. I don't know
No.
if I hear the word spring market.
Oh my gosh! If I heard the word spring market one more time.
It's like it's the right time when it's your time to move. There is no perfect time. And even and Sharon's talked about this numerous times. Even if it's the winter time, even if it's during the holidays, if you're putting your house on the market and
Those
you
are
get a
serious buyers.
those are serious buyers that are coming in. You're not going to get tire kickers. You're not going to get people that are just kind of looking to look. They're seriously buying. Nobody's going out during the winter months.
Yeah,
Just
I had
to
my
look.
accepted offer in December.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
it's the serious buyers that are going out there in all the snow.
Yeah. It's
all the snow we're not
all
having.
the snow we haven't had.
And it's the people who, especially in December and January, who are being relocated for work,
Yep.
and we've always said the higher price homes go in December and January, maybe even February, because it's the people who
Serious.
already know that they will probably have to move again in a couple of years. So like, they're not sort of like so picky on where they are because they're most likely being relocated for work.
So they need to buy.
Yeah.
Yep. Real buyers come out in the winter.
Yeah.
Real buyers. Real serious buyers.
And
come
some
out
of us real buyers are here every day
looking every day.
every day.
We're all looking for
I don't
her
know
at
how to
this
make
point.
it more
We
clear.
I send her everything that comes across my, like, what about this? What about that? What
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah,
Just
I
in
know.
case.
And I always have to be like sort of cautious about what I say and what I do, also because there are a lot of agents who have clients in my price point too.
Yeah.
So, but I was surprised that nobody put an offer on the Pembroke house that I put an offer in on. It was interesting because I thought for sure that people would have clients in that, and then I was like, oh, since no one's putting it in, maybe I have a
shot at
maybe
this
I have
one.
a shot up against this 13 other people. But yeah, so
It's a really frustrating buyer market right
Yeah.
now. It really is.
can you tell I'm frustrated?
Slightly frustrated.
It may be 8:51 in the morning, and I'm having some fun with the half of the Grady team, but I'm frustrated.
She's still a frustrated buyer. We all have them.
So we only have a couple more minutes. I have a couple open houses to discuss, but our last show that we did, or one of the shows that we did, is importance of pulling permits. Can you give a little bit of your backstory of like where you were before and even in the beginning of your career here at Boston Connect?
I was lucky enough to have a job working for the town of Pembroke in the building department.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, which is how I ended up in real estate, how I met Sharon. And Sharon's like, you really should be selling real estate. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Really? You can get that from me working behind this desk?
Really?
Really? She was right. I did. I got my license and I did it. So, so I worked in the building department, and it's important to pull your permits, your electrical permits, because people do come in and look. It's public record. People can come in, buyers can come in, they can pull the jacket for your home, they can open it up and see if you pulled plumbing permits and
Yeah.
electrical permits and building permits. So it's really important to do that and keep everything accurate and getting things signed off on.
Yeah.
I've had other situations where they didn't get like a conservation sign off.
Yeah.
Like there's open permits
Yeah.
or there was open what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think what it is, but
Oh.
conservation.
Yeah.
Conservation files things, and they have to be closed out. And if they're not, and it gets to the close, they start to record, or they start to do a search on your title. It's like, oh, you have an open conservation permit that needs to be closed out. Sometimes that's not easily done. I mean, it's going to delay your closing.
Yeah.
So it's important to go in, pull the jacket, and look through the permits to make sure everything was done properly.
Yeah.
Yes. Are there people out there that don't pull permits? Absolutely. Does it mean the work was done wrong? No, it does not. The house is still standing. Some people just don't have the money, or they just don't pull permits.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the work wasn't done properly, but it's better to have a permit in hand and have it be signed off on. That way the work was done right.
Yeah.
So, but there's plenty out there. Electrical is huge. I mean,
Electrical permits?
You do not
Yeah.
mess around.
I would not mess around with that.
You're not going to mess around with your panel. I
No.
just think it's a bad idea.
Yeah. Every time I go into a house and I'm like, oh, I'd switch that ceiling fan, I'd switch that light, I'm always like, okay, I would definitely not do it myself.
No.
I would definitely
recommend
I'll walk through a
plumbing
house and I'm like, yeah, I will be calling that person to do just to change the ceiling fan.
Yeah,
and I will pay you whatever it is you charge me.
There you go. And those are plumbing. Plumbing's the same. Don't mess around with that.
Of course, you got to call Mark McNamara.
Yep. Mark McNamara for your plumbing.
Yeah.
But if somebody adds a closet to a room and they didn't pull permit for a closet, look, I think you're okay. I don't think the closet's going to fall down on your head.
Well, I even thought about my Thursday house. I'm like, can I put a closet somewhere? Can I build a closet somewhere? I'm like, you can't even build a closet in here.
You're talking about a 600 square foot house,
Yeah.
and now you're going to take 30 feet away. You're trying to build a closet. So now I'm living in 500 square feet as opposed to...
And I'm just laying on the floor with no furniture because I don't own anything. I'm just like, I hate it here. And my cat's just walking across me, and then she's like, can I eat you yet? Are you like, is this where we die?
Is this it? This is it. This is our home.
This is it.
Where's my sunroom?
Oh my gosh, yeah. There was no really sun for
Zoe
my Zoe.
There's no sun.
Hello, where's the sun? It's so dark in that house. Okay, so long story short, I'm not putting it in an offer.
She's not putting it in an offer and not adding a closet. Nor is she pulling a permit to do it. So,
nor am I pulling a
pull
permit.
your permits. They're very important. But
Yeah.
my experience at the building department was great. It was
Yeah,
a really
I know.
great background for me.
And
to
I
get into
went
this
to the
business.
town hall twice last week. I had to go upstairs, and every single time I went upstairs, I always looked over because I looked at your desk.
That's my little desk.
Because every time I went to town hall before, I'd be like, hi. I just waved you hi.
I was like the greeter. I was
Yeah.
like the first floor. As far as
Everybody
you get into,
looks that way.
Everybody's like, and I was like, where is the
Where are you trying to go?
What are you looking for? What are you trying to do? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of people who came in and asked for forgiveness rather than permission?
They had to do that a few times. Like yeah. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm selling my house and now I have to pull a permit to, make sure it was done properly. Or,
Hi.
yeah.
You should have met me a while ago.
Yeah, you should have been here a while back.
You should have been here a while back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so your most important takeaway is pull a permit.
Pull a permit.
Use a professional.
Use a professional.
Yeah.
Electrical, plumbing, home
Safety.
some like my gym, Handy can build, and the man
for
is
sure.
gifted.
Jim Grady will be hired
Yeah.
by me to build everything that I have. Everything I buy. He likes that. He enjoys it.
He does. He's great.
I'll feed you.
Yep.
I'll make you a cocktail.
Exactly.
You can
build in your own house.
Yeah.
You can put on a deck. You can do all that stuff. Don't do your own electrical and do not do your own plumbing.
Yeah, super important.
Very
I think that is the
Licensed.
most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Licensed.
Insured.
Contractors. Insured.
Yeah.
Licensed contractors. Yes. Very important.
I'm getting hot just thinking of
there you go.
I'm like sweating like, oh my gosh, do people actually not do this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your most important takeaway
that's
from
my
it. I do have a couple open houses I want to talk about, and then I'll give you a moment to give your contact information out to everybody. Jess Page, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she has a 2-family in Taunton. It's at 157 Broadway. She's doing an open house today from 11 to 1. It's on the market for $525. So if you're looking for an investment property or a property where you could maybe live in one of the units, rent out the other unit, an in-law situation, this is a great opportunity. Again, 157 Broadway in Taunton from 11 to 1 today, $525. And then today and tomorrow. Of course, we have Cochise Estates. It's a 92-lot subdivision in West Bridgewater from 11 to 3. Those are doing open houses. So Sharon and Mary, their team, they do open houses there every single Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3. And also, they do an open house there every Wednesday night from 5 to 7. I think the website is livecochiseestates.com, so you can look at all the floor plans, everything like that. They also have a new property on the market, 31 Patriot Way, Unit 31 in Pembroke, that is on the market for $328,460. Yes. Tracy, how can anybody get in contact with you if they want to do anything?
If they want to do anything, you can reach me at 617-620-8484. You can reach Jim at 617-842-4019. Or you can reach us at Tracy at BostonConnect.com or Jim at BostonConnect.com.
Yeah.
And we would love to sit down and listen to what your plans are, what your future real estate looks like. We're happy to sit with you and even just talk about it for, get things started and, work our way.
You are sort of like the dream team. Like, you have like the dream marriage. You guys have been together for forever and a day. You guys don't fight. It's so frustrating. 35 years.
Yep, this October, 35 years.
Oh, that's awesome. And like, woohoo. Literally you guys are like made for each other. You know when you meet people and you're like, you two are like made for each other. Like you're supposed to, you and Jim are made for each other. You're the perfect team. You're like the perfect parents. You're everything.
God, no.
Like no, seriously. And we obviously love having you here, and I love having you on the show with me. And I know you always say yes, and I know it's super early, but I'm so glad that you said yes.
Yes, I always say yes.
You do,
even at 8 o'clock in the morning.
If you want to listen to any of our past shows, you can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com. You can go to BostonConnect.com, find all of our contact information. Again, we are here on our new time, Talk Real Estate Roundtable at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, but we also are live every single Tuesday night from 6:15 to 7. I am the co-host and I'm going to be having a bunch of our agents on, so if you are looking for anything having to do with real estate, again, BostonConnect.com for our contact information. Thank you so much, Tracy Grady, half of the Grady team.
For having me.
And thank you, Tim. You enjoy the rest of your beautiful Saturday.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this